What if I told you that budgeting isn't about restriction, it's about freedom? Most people hear the word budget and instantly feel tightness in their chest. It sounds like sacrifice, like punishment. But the truth? A real budget, the kind that actually works, isn't about saying no to life. It's about giving a loud, confident yes to your priorities. If you've ever built a budget, stuck to it for 2 weeks, then fallen off the wagon, this video is for you. 1. Why most budgets fail, and what no one tells you about it. Let's start with a brutal truth. Most budgets are designed to fail. Not because you're lazy, but because you're human. Traditional budgeting tools often expect you to be a robot, predictable, emotionless, and able to resist temptation every single day. But budgeting isn't about spreadsheets, it's about behavior. Think about it. If your budget feels like a punishment, why would you ever stick to it long term? A working budget has to account for your habits, your impulses, and your emotional triggers, not ignore them. The secret is to create a plan that aligns with your real life, not your ideal one. Take Sarah, for example. She made a perfect Excel budget, zero-based, color-coded, beautiful. But after 2 weeks, she stopped using it. Why? Because it didn't account for the daily coffee that kept her sane, or the impromptu dinners with friends that made her feel alive. Her budget didn't fail because she was irresponsible, it failed because it didn't fit her life. So if your budget has failed before, don't blame yourself. Blame the blueprint. You weren't the problem. The design was. 2. The pain-free budget. How to build a system that fits your real life. Here's where it gets better. The most effective budget is the one you barely feel. It works with your habits, not against them. We call this the pain-free budget, because it blends seamlessly into your life instead of disrupting it. To build it, start by identifying your non-negotiables, the expenses that make life feel worth living. These might include Friday night takeout, therapy, gym memberships, or even your weekend latte. You don't cut these out. You plan for them. Then, automate the essentials: rent, bills, savings. Anything that doesn't require active decision-making should happen in the background. That way, you're not constantly battling yourself. For example, if you love your $5 coffee every morning, don't fight it. Budget $150 a month for it, guilt-free. That's not irresponsible. That's self-awareness. And a budget built with self-awareness? That's a budget that lasts. 3. The emotional side of budgeting: guilt, fear, and the money triggers you don't talk about. Money is never just math. It's emotion. It's childhood. It's identity. And until you understand your emotional relationship with money, your budget will always feel like a war zone. Guilt is the biggest thief. You overspend on something impulsive, feel ashamed, then sabotage the rest of the month because you already messed it up. Sound familiar? That shame loop is common, but also fixable. Try reframing budgeting as a form of self-care instead of self-control. Budgeting is how you create safety for yourself, how you honor your future self. It's not punishment, it's preparation. When you feel the urge to overspend, pause. Ask, what am I trying to soothe right now? Often, the trigger isn't financial, it's emotional. And recognizing that gives you power. When you budget with compassion instead of criticism, everything changes. 4. The 70/20/10 rule, and why it's not enough anymore. You've probably heard the 70/20/10 rule. Spend 70% of income on needs and wants. Save 20%, give 10%. Simple. But let's be honest, life in 2025 isn't that tidy. Today's reality includes gig income, rising rent, unpredictable inflation, and side hustles. A static percentage system can leave you either broke or paralyzed. That's why I recommend a more adaptive model. Start by identifying income tiers. If you're earning $3,000 a month, your budget strategy is different than if you're earning $8,000. Don't use the same formula across the board. Also, consider seasonality. Maybe your expenses spike in summer when kids are home, or in December due to holidays. Your budget should breathe with your life. Not all months are created equal, and your plan should reflect that. 5. How to budget when your income is inconsistent. Here's a big one. What if you don't have a fixed salary? Welcome to the world of freelancers, creators, and gig workers. Budgeting with inconsistent income might seem impossible, but it's not. You just need a different strategy. First, identify your bare minimum, the absolute lowest you need to survive monthly. Rent, food, bills. Let's say that's $2,500. Now, when you earn more than that, the surplus goes into two buckets, one for variable spending, the other for income smoothing. Income smoothing is your secret weapon. It's a savings buffer that replaces a regular paycheck. So when a slow month hits, you're not panicking, you're prepared. Set up a smoothing account and treat it like your employer. Pay yourself the same amount every month from it, even if your freelance earnings are erratic. It creates rhythm in the chaos. 6. Fixed versus flexible budgets. The hybrid method that actually works. Rigid budgets break. Flexible budgets drift. But a hybrid method? That's the sweet spot. Here's how it works. Set firm limits on your essentials and savings goals. These are your non-negotiables. But for the rest, like entertainment, dining, or hobbies, set ranges, not limits. Let's say your fun budget is $300 to $400 per month. Some months you hit $300. Others you go to $400. That flexibility makes it sustainable. You're not trapped, you're trusted. The hybrid method respects your structure and your spontaneity. It's budgeting with both discipline and grace. And that's why it works long term. 7. The silent killers in your spending habits you don't even notice. Let's expose the budget vampires, the small, sneaky expenses that quietly drain your finances. You know the ones, subscriptions you forgot about. Daily delivery fees. Rounding errors. Impulse Amazon buys. Uber rides that could have been a walk. These aren't big splurges. They're micro leaks. But over time, they add up massively. $9.99 a month might seem harmless, until you have 10 of them. Start with a money audit. Review the last 90 days of your bank statements and highlight every charge that made you say, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that." Those are your silent killers. Cancel. Pause. Reassign. This alone can reclaim hundreds per month and make your budget feel 10x more effective without changing your lifestyle. 8. The one question that will redesign your entire budgeting strategy. Here it is, the question that changes everything. If your spending reflected your real priorities, what would change? Take a moment and ask yourself, where is your money actually going? And does that align with the life you're trying to build? If you say family is your top priority, but 30% of your income goes to takeout and gadgets, you've got a values mismatch. That's not judgment. That's awareness. Use this question to rebuild your budget backwards. Start with your values, then assign your money. Not the other way around. That's how you create a financial system that not only works, but means something. 9. How to stop budgeting for survival and start budgeting for growth. Here's the mindset shift. Budgeting isn't about just getting by. It's about building up. Most people use budgets to avoid disaster. But what if you used yours to create wealth? To fund investments? To start a business? To buy back your time? Your budget should include a growth category. A line item for investing, for skill building, for scaling your future. This rewires your brain from, "I can't afford that," to, "How can I make that happen?" Budgeting is no longer about survival, it's your strategy for freedom. And the sooner you shift into that mindset, the sooner your entire life starts changing. Let's bring it all together. A budget that actually works is not rigid, it's real. It reflects your priorities. It flexes with your life. It doesn't guilt you, it guides you. We explored why most budgets fail, how to build one that fits your real habits, how to manage emotional triggers, and even how to budget with inconsistent income. This isn't just about numbers. It's about taking back control. About building a life where every dollar has a purpose, and every decision builds your future. If you've made it this far, you're not just a viewer, you're a builder. You're not looking for hacks. You're building habits. And that changes everything. Now check out the description or the first pinned comment, because I left some useful links and exclusive recommendations for you. And since you stayed until here, YouTube chose the best video for you to watch next. It's on screen for you right now.